Patriots planted the seed. We don't need them around to filter and foster their memes any longer. We're spreading them just fine ourselves. Every American man, woman, and child. We're all sons of a patriots now!
In 2013, Platinum Studios released Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance. The game is a spin-off of the Metal Gear series and is now an action title. The game takes place after the events of Metal Gear Solid 4, and we get to see what Raiden is up to next. While the combat is not as complex as other Platinum action games, the game makes up for it with its over-the-top set pieces and fantastic integration of the soundtrack into the gameplay.
Wide open!
Very good! But do not rest easy just yet, huh?
Revengeance features a cast of fun and charismatic villains in the form of the Winds of Destruction, though admittedly some are less interesting and memorable than others. The first two members of the team, while being fun fights, are standard fare for an enemy group in a Metal Gear game.
Mind if I got in?
Which brings us to Minwano, or Jetstream Sam. Early on in the game, Sam is the one who is set up to be Raiden's nemesis. After all, Sam is the one who takes Raiden's arm and the one we've been waiting for a one-on-one duel with. Even without all the earlier setup, Jetstream Sam is an engaging character and I'm sure people would have liked him anyway. He's got a fun, laid-back manner and doesn't seem to take himself too seriously. Plus, he's really fun to play as in the DLC missions as his taunt mechanic, and separate moveset make him refreshing to play. After defeating Sam, the most likable of the Desperado crew, I felt the game had nowhere to go. How could they top him?
This is between us. And it ends here. Okay. Let's dance! This ends here. Playtime's over!
This being a Metal Gear game, I assumed that there would be a Metal Gear to destroy as the last boss, which would have been fine but not as memorable. After reaching the last level, a giant mechanical spider, with no apparent use for combat or construction, rips through the ground and out pops Senator Armstrong. Yeah, that guy we saw with Sundowner a few levels ago.
We just need something to jumpstart the economy out of this funk. This recession has been stuck in since the fall of SOP.
And the military costs? Wasting billions is going to help the economy?
DMCs, arms manufacturers, job creators, Jack. All those workers spending money, paying taxes. Trust me, a little war can work wonders.
Armstrong wanted to use the manufactured war to get America out of the post-Patriot recession and to gain votes for the presidency. It seems serviceable but uninspired, much like the not a Metal Gear fight. If after blowing up Excelsius and hearing a few dying lines from Armstrong the game ended, I'm certain I would have had a bad taste in my mouth. But to my delight, Revengeance had a trick up its sleeve. The game surprised the crap out of me by not only showing that Armstrong is tougher than any non-cyborg should be, but that his original bad guy speech was just a load of bull. Armstrong is not just a money and power hungry villain, he has a dream after all.
Alright, the truth then. You're right about one thing. I do need capital and votes. Wanna know why? I have a dream.
What?
Money and votes are just a means to an end for Armstrong. Whereas typically villains tend to be greedy and power hungry and then adapt and twist whatever ideology they can find to justify their actions, we see a subversion, a reverse of the standard villain. Armstrong views money and power as necessary to achieve the world his philosophical ideology demands. Sick of what he believes to be the degradation of American culture, society, and ways of government, Armstrong wants rid of all of it. Our senator is tired of pointless wars where soldiers die not for what they believe in, but because of the meme of nationalism. He feels that America has lost its way and, as he puts it, rotten to the core. The senator's goal is to apparently get rid of the rules and codes of the hegemony and to replace it with a society where the individual is king. Armstrong is an anarchist in the political definition, as he wants a society without a publicly enforced government. He wants to place that power in the hands of the people or the individual. The senator wants every man to have the freedom to fight and die only for causes he believes in, and not the ones he has been forced into or inherited. With ideals like that, how could he possibly be a bad guy? Armstrong wants to get rid of wars for oil and profit. He wants the country and its citizens to no longer regurgitate weak ideologies and isms. The senator just wants everyone to be free to do as they see fit. These are all things we can agree on, right? How could you not be drawn in by his charisma and winning smile? Is he even a villain at this point?
Believe in sometime, Jack. Not for a company or a nation or for anyone else.
Maybe I was wrong about you.
Am I finally getting through? I'll rid this world of pointless wars, Jack.
I was wrong. You're not greedy. You're batshit insane!
Well, yes. Sure, he wants to end government starting wars for profit. But for example, in Armstrong's Might Makes Right world, if you were a capable soldier and happened to be interested in starting your own PMC, independent of any ties to a nation, yeah, you could do that. You could also use that PMC to instigate and sustain any war you felt like, and being a PMC, you would fight for profit. Armstrong's rule wouldn't prevent war for profit, it just wouldn't be fought in the name of a country. But what about Armstrong's libertarian ideal for the freedom of the individual? He wants everyone to use their own strength to follow their own dreams while not being hindered by society. Well, this brings to mind a musical I'm fond of called Assassins. To not go into great detail, the musical examines how we are always told to follow our dreams no matter what. However, in the case of the play, the dreams of the characters are to assassinate presidents. I bring this up to show that your freedom of choice is great and should be part of any society, but let's not pretend we should allow anyone to do anything unchecked. I imagine Armstrong's response would be along the lines of, if you're strong enough, no one can do anything to you.
Weak will be purged, and the strongest will thrive, free to live as they see fit. They'll make America great again!
Which brings me to his weak shall be purged bit. Chances are, you would be part of the group that gets purged along with me and everyone else you know. Even if you don't care about any of that and believe that Armstrong's world is one worth living in, that doesn't change the fact that Armstrong himself has done awful things in the name of his goals. No matter how sound his ideals are, privatizing the police force in his home state, kidnapping and removing the brains of Reagan children, and killing American soldiers are morally reprehensible acts. The best Armstrong could hope for is to be called a villain. Just because he's got a charismatic persona and has some sympathetic ideals doesn't make him a good guy. It's hard to say that the ends justify the means because the acts he committed remain immoral regardless of any positive outcome. Just because he's got a charismatic persona and has some sympathetic points does not make him a good guy. Don't get me wrong, however, I still love Armstrong, and every second he's on screen is a treat. I can't imagine Revengeance being as fun of a game without him or his boss fight.
So, what do you think?
If you enjoyed the video, please comment and let me know. If you thought I was as full of it as Armstrong, also let me know. I do plan on releasing more videos and I'm working on the next one already. If you have villains to suggest or any other kind of analysis you want me to do, Once again, just let me know. Thanks for watching.